Hi there, Paul in Perth here again. We've got a BL Mazda 3 here and we're going to do a rear door strip. Now last time I did a front door strip and I did it insofar as just tearing the door apart. This one I'm going to take a little bit more care because one of the jobs you often do on a door is to replace a broken window. So I'm going to do it in such a way that we're going to remove the windows gracefully so that you can see how to do that particular part of the job, and then I'll do a complete strip. But I'll do it in a slightly different way to the way I did the front door. Now let's just go through the tools that we're going to use for this job. You're going to need a 10mm, and it's best if you've got it on some kind of torque wrench like that. If you want to do it with a hand tool, that's fine. You're definitely going to need a 10mm. Now to get the window up and down, you can either just use the ignition and just turn it on and use your window up down switch. That's fine. This car's a wreck, so I can't do that. So I'm going to be using a little door harness and a little 12 volt supply. It's always handy to have a pick, specifically a 90-degree pick for jobs like this. I'm going to need a variety of Phillips head screwdrivers. So I've got a large one, a medium one, and a small one. It's also helpful to have a medium-sized flathead, a clip tool, a trim removal tool, and I'm going to be using a copper hammer for when I remove the door lock actuator. So make sure you've got a copper hammer as well. Okay, so let's get started. So this is the door here. So this is a rear left on a BL Mazda 3. The first thing to do is to remove this trim here. So if you carefully slip in a flat, what I'm doing by the way is I'm bending that slightly outwards with my hand, and that's creating a gap up here. And under that gap I can slip in a flathead screwdriver and remove that trim. So that's off. The next thing is I want to remove the trim from the door handle. So by lifting that out and slipping my flathead in there, I can pop out that trim, okay? And I'll actually leave that. I'll pull that off when I get the skin off. So now I've got 3 Phillips head screws that I need to remove. So there's one here in the door handle. So I'll get that one out. And there's one here. So that's out. And there's a third one down here, which you won't be able to see on camera, but just trust me, when you do the job, you'll find it. Okay, so now, once that's out, it doesn't want to come, I'll leave it in, it'll come with it when I pull the whole thing off. Now I'm going to yank the door skin back towards me, and 2 things are still connected. I've still got the door lock actuator connectors connected there, and I've still got the electrical connector connected there. So it's not going to cleanly come off, it's going to partially come off. So what I'm doing is with my right hand, I'm grabbing under there, under the skin, and I'm going to yank back relatively hard. Okay, and it comes off. So now on the back, if you look, as I said, there are still 2 things that are holding it on. So that's the electrical connector from the door switch, which I'll get off shortly. And you've got these door lock actuator connectors. Now these, if you position them just right, you can pop them out. So there and there. And this one here is a standard electrical connector. So if I press in that tab and pull back, that comes out. So there's my skin off. Now, just notice, when you get these skins off, have a look to see that all of your clips are intact. So good, missing, right? Very normal to have 1 or 2 that don't come off correctly. So let's have a look at what happened here. On the door, you can see that it's actually stayed connected to the door frame. That is completely normal, that 1 or 2 will not come off onto the door skin. You won't be able to get the door skin back off until you resolve this. Now this one is completely broken. So what I need to do in this case is bugger it off. And if I was going to be putting the door back together, which in this case I'm not, but if you were putting it back together, you would need a replacement little stud. So anytime you're working on a door, make sure you get a couple of these little door studs spare. For me, I wreck these cars, so I will always just grab a few spare like that, and I'll just keep them in my toolbox, okay? If you find yourself with some spares, just grab a couple of these and keep them spare. You will use them. They do get broken. They're only made of plastic and they're over 10 years old now, so of course they do break. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the windows in this door. When you do a rear door, you need to remove the quarter pane first and the main glass second. And I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to do it all quite gracefully. So the first thing with this quarter glass is behind this little pad here, you'll find there's a 10mm bolt there. There is, I'm going to need to remove that. There's a 10mm bolt behind that. And don't do it just yet, but there's also a secret little screw up at the top that I need to show you. So let's just start with getting some covers off. So firstly, I need to remove this cover here. So I'll get my little 90-degree pick, I'll slip it in behind this cover and I'll pull the cover off, and there's that second 10mm I was telling you about. Now, if the camera person wants to come up, I'll show you a really, really secret screw up in the top. If you look just there, you'll see that there is a screw hidden behind the weather strip. So to get the quarter pane out, you need to remove that screw. And that's one of the secrets that you get on my channel. Okay, so there's that screw out. So if the camera person wants to go back to their original position, so there you go, it's screw out. That's the screw, it's a tiny little one. I used a tiny little Phillips to get it out. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my 10mm to remove this bolt and that bolt. So there's that one out. There's that one out. Now that I've got that out, there's nothing holding this channel in. So I'm going to grab it. Actually, I'll take the weather strip out first. So if I just get my fingers in there and pull out the weather strip, what I'll find is that channel will now come out, okay? With that channel out, there's now nothing retaining the quarter window. So I'm going to push the quarter window that way, okay? And then there you go, the quarter window is out. Now that that's out, I can get the main window out. Now, to get the main window out, I need to go through this inspection port here. Well, I'll just get that out of the way because that's annoying me. So, removing this inspection panel here, and you'll see there is the glass there. Now, if you've got your ignition working, you can just put your ignition on and use your window switches to get the window in the right position. Sorry for obscuring you here. In my case, this car is wrecked, so I can't just use the ignition. So what I'm going to do is I've got this little harness. So I'm going to slip this harness in here, and I need to get the window up so that I can see the 10mm bolt there. So I don't know which way my polarity is, whether I'm going up or down to start with. I'll soon work it out. So I'm just getting my two things there. I'm putting them onto the battery, right? Right, can you see there that I've now got the 10mm bolt lined up with the hole? So just for your own information, you need the window to be roughly that far up. So in fact, if you at the very start of the job, if you put your window roughly that far up, you might even fluke it. So now, put my 10mm in. Oops, I've dropped my socket down there. Now that has partially spun it out. It's also not completely released either, which is unfortunate. So I'm going to have to manually get that out. So you can tell this is real life. So come on. Okay, there you go. Finally got it out. So you may struggle a bit with that 10mm. Once that's out, you should be able to just lift the window pane out. Okay, so lifting it, and that 10mm that I removed was what was through there. So if you remember when I did the front door, there was two 10mm. On this one, there's only one 10mm. So two for the front doors, one for the rear doors. So at that point, you've graciously got this out. Now, In most cases, the reason you might want to remove this window is because a vandal has smashed your window, in which case you didn't get out your window in one piece. Your window is actually shattered and your whole door will be full of little tiny bits of glass that you need to vacuum out. So let's continue to strip the door so you can see how you would get everything out to get your vacuum cleaner in. So, I need a 10 mil and my 10 mil is down the bottom of the door. Let me go and get another one. Okay, we'll take a cut there. Hi there, so I've just come back to my workshop and I've got myself my second 10 mil, because if you remember, my first 10 mil is down in the bottom of this door. So what we're going to do now is strip off this skin here, because remember, I'm assuming that you've got a smashed window, which means you've got a ton of broken glass in the bottom of your door. So let's look at what we have to do to get all this off. You'll see there's a bunch of 10 mil bolts and there's these two 10 mil nuts. You need to take all of them off. So just work your way around. This is where a power tool comes in really handy, because you can obviously do it really quick. If you're doing it with a hand tool, that's fine, but you won't be doing it anywhere near as quick as I am. If I missed any, yes I have. Right, we'll take off this is the window reg motor. So it's 3 bolts to get that out. And with the window reg motor, all you need to do is pull it off towards yourself. It's just keyed with this this spline here that goes into that spline there. And when you, oh well, don't worry about that. It rolls that one way to put the window up, rolls it the other way to put the window down. The only thing holding this on now is these electrical connectors and this one pop stud at the top here. So just to get that pop stud off, just slip a little flathead in underneath it and pop it out. And to get these electrical connectors off, you'll need a clip tool. And I don't know where mine is, so I'll do it the redneck way. So there you go, that's the redneck way. Don't do that if you're actually trying to keep the car. Remember, I'm wrecking this one. At that point, this whole skin will come off. It's on with an adhesive, so you just pull back gently and you can feel the adhesive give way. And before you know it, you've got it off. Okay? There's the window reg. So with your window, so it sits like that. When you put power on the motor, that spins. This line here goes up and down, and that makes the window go up and down. So that's the rail, if you like, that the window runs on. Okay, so in your case, you've probably got broken glass all through here. So at this point, you'd grab your vacuum cleaner and you would vacuum out all your broken glass. In my case, I've got my 10 mil back. So that's what it was for me. Now, the only thing left to strip off this door now is the door lock actuator. So I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it the right way. If you watched my front door video, I do it the wrong way, then I do it the right way. This time around, I'm going to do it the right way first time. So disconnect your electrical connector. Okay, here's the 3 screws that are holding the door lock actuator on. You'll need a relatively large Phillips head, and you'll need a copper hammer. Please don't try and turn these without first jarring them. So fitting your Phillips head in, I'm going to give it a good probably 3 smacks. 4 in that case. And after 4 smacks, it turns quite easily. It does not turn easily if you don't do those smacks. Please do the smacks first. So I've got that screw out with no damage to the screw whatsoever. So let's do the second and third ones. Okay, so at that point, I'll just remove this little this thing here, this little cover. Now, what I need to do with the door lock actuator is just pop it out, and there it is. So if you ever need to replace a door lock actuator, that's where it is, and that's how you do it. So at that point, the door is pretty much stripped. The only thing left is the external door handle. I don't have all of the tools to do it, but I did it on the front door. But just to show you, under here, if you look right in there, you'll see there's a T25. If you loosen off that T25, you'll find that that part of the door handle will come out. And once that part of the door handle is out, all you need to do with this one is push it backwards and that comes out as well. If you didn't understand that, just have a look at the video I've done of the front door one. I do remove that on the front door and you'll see it. Okay, I hope this helps you and I need you to help me. Can you please click like and subscribe and keep me going on YouTube? Thanks very much. See you later.